The most shocking illustration of America's crumbling infrastructure came in 2007 when an 8-lane highway bridge across the Mississippi River in Minnesota collapsed during evening rush hour. The span, with vehicles and people crossing over at the time, crashed down into the waters below. 13 were killed, more than 140 injured. An alarm sounded in the nation that day, and with it questions: how many of America's bridges are structurally deficient? A decade later, we know the answer. According to the American Road and Transportation Builders Association, it's 54,259. They're crossed 174 million times each day. At the current pace, it'll take 37 years to repair all the bridges that need work. And placed end to end, it said all the bridges in need of repair would stretch for 1,216 miles. That's almost all the way from here in New York City to Florida. The Road Builders Association says the U.S. state with the most structurally deficient bridges is Iowa in the Midwest, 5,067, followed by Pennsylvania with 4,174 and Oklahoma with 3,234.
10 years ago, about 12% of bridges were viewed as being structurally unsound. Over the last decade, that's now reduced down to about 9%, so we're making great headway. That's a number of bridges. If you think about it in terms of actually the square footage of road, it's actually only about 6%. So most of the highly traveled bridges are actually been making a lot of progress in getting them repaired. Now, if you're on that bridge that has a problem, then it's up close and personal in terms of that impact. So making headway, but certainly something that, yeah, should be top of mind to improve.
Of course, bridges are important, but ask any New York commuter what's their priority, and they're likely to say transportation over bridges every time.
So I'm hopeful that the financing will come here in terms of transit funding, and hopefully it will, since Trump is a New Yorker, and I assume he did rely on the subway at some point in his career.
A lot is riding on President Trump's infrastructure plans, a key campaign promise that affects everyone in the country, Republican and Democrat alike. John Terrett, CGTN, New York.